Hello, my name is Kemp, and what I'll be discussing with you today is about enterprise security. Before I get into that, I want to give you a brief summary of why I chose to be in the field of cybersecurity, or why cybersecurity chose me. It goes back when I was just in my young 20s or so, and visiting my grandmother and realizing that she has been scammed and lost her life savings to scammers or hackers. And I didn't know how in the world could our government allow our older people to be swindled out all their money, or not to be reimbursed for that money, or not to even retrieve that money. So it came to my conclusion that maybe I should be in that field to help change that. And that's what I've always wanted to do, and that's what I'm gonna continue to do until the day I die. So I'm sure everybody got their reason for being in the cybersecurity, trying to be in the computer field, which is growing, which is pretty much taking over the whole world. But let's get into exactly what is enterprise security. What is it? It's enterprise security is when you securing your company files or data, not only just not your company there, but also your employees and customers' personal data. Fine, because all your financial information is listed in there. So a lot of that information, as you can see when you get your credit checked, sometimes a credit company is saying to you that you've been breached, and you're trying to figure out like what happened, or one of my identities fit to be lost, stolen, or what's going on. And then most of the time they just say change your password, but most of the time these breaches are happening because these simple foundations sometimes is not taken in consideration. So where does it all start from? It's the CIA triad. That's where it starts from. Confidentiality, integrity, availability. That's where it all starts from. So let's start out with confidentiality. Confidentiality is where you want your data to remain confidential. This means only select people allowed to access this information, and nobody else, even by word of mouth. And there's many ways to ensure your data is confidential. And some of these ways include having a firewall or multiple firewalls, encryption both in transit and at rest, user access control, and privileges for the user training. And also the main thing is have a solid endpoint security solution. Those are some of the main factors. And when dealing with the confidentiality of having your company run safely and soundly, making sure you don't lose that data. And also it'll track, notify you on suspicious behavior, just like I said earlier, where your credit card company or they were seeing information out to let you know when there's a breach or something going on. That's what their data has caught up. They noticed a suspicious behavior, and they were trying to see, that's how they could find out how many people is affected by this. All right, let's move on to integrity, which is one of the also important things there is to be about the triad. And this integrity is if you want your data to remain intact and where there's no changes at time, it attacks like the middleman, like an intercepting your data, inside threats, or use negligence as a major concern. And you can help to safeguard against this manipulation of your data by doing a few things, including backing up your data, audit trails, implementing change control, and so many more things. I mean, the list goes on. And as for hackers learn stuff, so do you. It's an ongoing learning process. It'll be something new 6-7 months down the road from now. And so that's just going to be a part of your everyday life, is learning stuff and learning how to stop hackers, and you being an ethical hacker. Well, most of us were trying to be an ethical hacker. That's our duty, is to stop that. Which leads us to the last and least, availability. You always want to maintain availability of your information so that it may be accessed appropriately by people at the appropriate time. You know, of course, you have a solid security solution in place to prevent attacks and unwanted behavior, but you might want to have your data, your information set up where the person that's able to access stuff quickly to counteract attacks in your data and within the companies. So that's how it all mainly works. I kept it short and simple. So these are the main things that your company would need to do is the CIA, as long as you know the CIA triad, the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability, you will have a secure system in place to counteract attacks. Thank you so much.